Bismillahir-Rahmanir-Rahim, Rahmat-i-Alam, Muhammad, peace be upon him, mercy for the universe. Translated by A.Rauf Luther, Chapter 29, Islam as Law. Since the day Islam was revealed as a faith and religion, it was a government from that very day. It did not separate religion from the state. To perform duties towards God and to the creation were not considered to be two separate duties. In the faith, as Medina was the capital of Islam, it was going on growing as a political pivot. To whatever part of the globe Islam reached, its rule spread over that part. It preached peace. Thefts came to an end. Dacoity was no more. Evils vanished. Instead of lawlessness, the Islamic way of life flourished throughout. Imams, reciters of azans, judges and administrators were appointed for the establishment of a state based on Islamic law. Islam in its earlier period laid stress on righteousness and faith. When this was achieved, the lesson of prayers and worship was imparted to the Muslims. Then attention was paid to the law of Islam. It was a period when father was a Muslim and the son was a non-Muslim, the mother a Muslim and her daughter a non-Muslim. But after the Badr war, Muslims had a peaceful family life. The number of martyrs must have increased due to wars. So in 3H, the law of inheritance was revealed by God. The daughter, who had no right of inheritance, was made lawful to have her share in the property of the deceased. By this time, the Muslims could have transacted marriages with pagan women, and so the time approached when, for the sake of tranquil, homely life, marriages with non-Muslims were declared unlawful. In 4H, the criminals of adultery and fornication were punished by hitting them with stones, as was the law in the Torah. Some say the drinking of liquor was abolished in the same year. There was a custom in Arabia that adopted sons were considered as real sons. Their wives were taken as the real daughter-in-law. In 5th Hijrah, this custom was abolished. During the time of ignorance, women decorated completely with cosmetics and ornaments, visited the fairs and attended the meal gatherings, which was a blot on the social life of the people. Islam reformed this custom and commanded the women folk to cover their decorations by putting veils on them, especially on their breasts, not to make the contours visible to avoid the glances of the males. Also, they were enjoined not to walk with such ornaments on their bodies that might produce tinkling tunes as they stepped. They should not talk with men exhibiting delicacy of their voices so as to avoid attraction for men or inflame their sentiments and passions. 100 lashes or flogs were notified as punishment for those who were virgin girls in case they committed adultery. The system of divorce was reformed for the betterment of the community. It was all for the reformation of the social structure of the Muslim community. Two main hindrances for Islam. Islam had experienced great difficulties for so many years. By the grace of God, the mercifulness and morality of the Prophet and his proper planning, almost all the hurdles and hindrances had been surmounted except two obstacles that lay ahead for the spread of Islam. One of them was the non-believers of Arabia and the other was the community of Jews living in Khaybar. The Prophet desired nothing from the non-believers except their non-interference in the spread of Islam, and that they should not destroy the peaceful environment, and that the people who wanted to embrace Islam should be given that opportunity. The poor, weak and destitutes, maybe men or women and children, should be allowed to move to Medina. The Meccans should allow the Muslims to perform Umrah and Hajj, as that was obligatory for the Muslims. As regards the Jews of Khaybar, the Prophet had laid a condition that they should accept the political power of Islam if they did not like to embrace Islam for the establishment of sound administration, and that the Muslims would look after their genuine claim and their interest would be safeguarded by the Muslims. If you like the video, then comment, share and subscribe the channel. Hit the bell icon. Thank you. Jazakumullahu khairan kaseera.